Welcome back, guys. In this video, we're going to talk about breaking the cycle of not enoughness, how to break free from that constant underlying feeling that no matter what you do, it's never enough, that constant and never-ending chase and neediness for more wealth, more success, more happiness, appearing better, that constant need to appearing in a certain way to get external approval. You know that roller coaster that when you get it, you feel great, but when it dips and it goes down, it hits hard. And this is a roller coaster that a lot of people are on, because this is something I work a lot with a lot of my clients. It's something that I was struggling with for a long time. It was one of those roller coasters where I was using external things, success, money, appearance, having things, appearing a certain way to feel good about myself. And so I was constantly chasing these things in order to feel worthy, to feel fulfilled, to feel, myself, to appear a certain way, to get approval from my dad, from others, and so on. It's a race. And because it's a race with external things where we project, okay, when I get that thing, then I'll feel good, then I'll be worthy, then other people will like me, whatever, right? Because it is so rooted externally, it always leaves us vulnerable. Because when things are great and everything's working fantastic, everybody loves you, the world is good, you reach great, the moment something happens, that little vulnerability comes out and becomes massive. And when there is that pattern, there is a lot of inner insecurities that needs to be dealt with. Because as long as you let your self-worth being tied up to external things, external possession, external appearances, instead of your identity, instead of your core, instead of who you are and the value that you bring, you will always be chasing and you will always be exposed to things not working out. And when they don't work out, it's going to directly reflect on how you feel about yourself, and it's going to lead you to chase even more, to overcompensate even more, to please others even more, to get even more approval, more validation in so many ways. And you can see that race being played out by so many people out there, whether it's doing Botox, whether it's trying to lie on Instagram about I have this and that, pretending, make believe, going in some insane ways to portray themselves in a certain way and hiding everything else that can make them feel vulnerable, that can make them feel weak, that can make them feel insecure. Because at the root cause of this cycle of not enoughness is shame, embarrassment. And this is often something that is formed deeply and early on, right? The story or the context is very unique for every person, right? And so the voice of shame is the voice that I am not enough. So whatever happens, however you created that identity, you started projecting, overcompensating on other things outside of you. And society teaches that, right? You look at all advertisement, you teach us the way we thought about success, about money, and so on. So we attach often to success, to fame, to money, to external beauty, to external, authority or things of this nature. We attach that feeling of validation, of power, of like ego and worthiness, right? So when I get these things, then I will feel that void. And in my personal case, it started when I was young, and it got intensified when I was a teenager, because I had a phase when I was a no-life gamer. I was spending a lot of time playing games, being isolated, being alone, losing friend connection, and slowly and surely I started isolating myself, and I started feeling different, not liked, I didn't belong, and I had all these needs. I wanted attention, I wanted approval, I wanted all these things. So it strongly identified that there's something wrong with me, which made me only want to chase more, be liked, and all these type of things. But you see, later on in my adult life, those needs were translated by, okay, if I can be successful in my business, if I can make more money, if I can appear better than others, if I can appear like I have my shit together, then I feel good about myself. But the moment things were not working, clients were wobbly, finance were wobbly, or things didn't work out the way I wanted, or like it's just plain freaking failed or whatever, right? Like I felt extremely insecure, extremely embarrassed, extremely ashamed, and I would do so much to hide these things from people. And that's why it's a roller coaster, because you're constantly on a ride. When things are going up, it's great, but eventually it always comes crashing. And because this is your core blueprint, you're always going to end up in position where no matter what you do, you feel like it's not enough. And so I was in a relationship when I was overgiving, and no matter what I did, it wasn't enough. And so I could work hard in my business more than others and read books and trying to develop myself and do all these things, and I would still end up feeling like it's still not enough. Even when I made more money, something would happen. I would lose my money, I need to use the money, or something like that. It was the same in my business. Even when I grew my business to a certain point, I still felt like I needed more and I needed more and I needed more, until the point where I realized that I was chasing all these external things in order to feel worthy between myself. And that's when I realized that this cycle is broken. And so the journey, the process to basically turn from external validation to feel worthy into grounding that in your identity, in your self-image. And as I often tell my clients, this is a process of giving yourself what you perceive to be lacking. Because when you are chasing something externally, it is only because of what you project on it subconsciously. So if you reverse that and you start to make yourself feel worthy, meaning you start to see your value, meaning you start to understand that you are worthy because you are, not because of the money, not because of the look, not because of anything outside of you. Those are great, they're bonus, they're fantastic, but I am worthy because of I am. And when you start to then accept and deal with that buried shame on past experiences or childhood or teenage things or trauma or whatever it may be, and you start to accept those parts of you that you might have suppressed or that you don't want other people to find out and so on. I'll give you an example. Early on in my career as a coach, I needed to take a side job, so I was an English teacher for a while. But I was so embarrassed that somebody would find out that I was keeping this as a secret. How it's weird, but you see, I just felt like I should be more, I should have more, I should be already in a position where I don't need to do this, right? But because of that underlying shame and that underlying belief, I was keep on being in situation where I felt like that again and again and again. And so what I was attracting in my reality, what I was creating in my reality is that never ending roller coaster that things go well and then I end up feeling not good enough. So I take a few steps, things are growing, and then boom, I'm back where I started. So if you're experiencing that ceiling, if you're constantly chasing for something and you wonder why it's not happening, have a look, reflect on that. And I can give you so many other ways in how it used to manifest for me. People-pleasing tendency, avoiding confrontation, being the nice guy. All these things were just a mean for other people to like me, because if they like me, I feel good about myself. The moment they don't like me, the moment I feel rejected, the moment I feel embarrassed, or the moment something along those lines happen, it will bring up that insecurity, that shame. So the process, the journey of breaking that cycle, getting off the freaking roller coaster, is to coming back to yourself, capital S, your true self, by accepting those part of you that you have repressed, that where you feel embarrassed, where you feel insecure, and to simply make peace with that, to look at it from a very different perspective, so that you can start to not only release the emotional charge, but integrate those part of you, and then start to give yourself what you've been lacking all this time, meaning I am worthy now because I choose I am. Really learning to make this a non-negotiable, even when things don't work out, even if you were to lose all the money, your beauty, the fame, all those things where you attach right now externally, that sense of confidence and worthiness, so to speak. So even in a case where things don't work out, even in a case I lose my job, my money, my friends, my girlfriend, my whatever, even then, I am still worthy. I am beyond worthy of having, creating, loving myself and all these things. And when you start to come from that place and you anchor that in yourself, you're going to notice that you still want what you want, but you come at it from a very different position, from a very different place, and things starts to flow more into your life. So you naturally become a magnet to those things, because now instead of life reflecting back to you your not enoughness, now life start to reflect back to you your enoughness. And that is a massive difference. So it's not a process of like overnight shifting and changing, but it is a worthy process of massive transformation. And so if this video resonates with you and you don't know where to start and how to start, you can book your free discovery call with me down in the description. Together we can talk and we can get a lot of insight into your situation and create a plan on how you can start to break free from that in your life and experience that transformation. Let me know what you think. If you have any question down in the comment, guys, as always, thank you for watching this video, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will see you next time. Be well.